In 1989, EBAA Iron Incorporated introduced the FlexTend flexible expansion joint, which is comprised of two ball joints separated by an expansion joint. For the first time, one product was available to protect pipelines and their connections from differential movement resulting from seismic, gradual soil subsidence, or the expansion-contraction forces from thermal differences. The FlexTend product has provided years of pipeline protection, with the most dramatic examples being in areas that have been subjected to earthquakes. The FlexTend, constructed from ductile iron, was also the first to be fully self-restrained, limiting expansion travel so no external tie rods are required. This allowed the FlexTend to move within its constrained limits, but no further. There is one design consideration, however, that must be addressed with the use of any expansion joint: the thrust issue. Due to the hydrostatic forces inside all pipelines, a thrust force is generated. The maximum thrust force, in pounds, can easily be calculated by multiplying the highest pressure, PSI, the pipeline will see, typically the test pressure, by the cross-sectional area, square inches, of a pipeline. In most cases, this issue of the thrust force is easily overcome with the use of restrained joints. But in areas where expansion and contraction may be needed, the expansion joint is required. While the expansion joint does allow for expansion and contraction movement, it also acts as a hydraulic cylinder, expanding to its full limit under hydrostatic pressure. Left unaccommodated, this thrust and the resulting expansion of the joint can cause damage to the pipeline and also to the surrounding structures. In addition, the standard expansion joint has volume changes as it expands and contracts, and could cause spikes in water pressure when actuated quickly, as in a seismic event. All of these concerns and design considerations can add to the overall cost of the project when trying to accommodate the thrust force while allowing the joint to properly expand or contract as needed. EBAA Iron has resolved these issues with the introduction of the force-balanced FlexTend. The force-balanced FlexTend incorporates a second cylinder, which generates a second thrust force equal to the original force in the opposite direction. As we know, when two forces are equal in strength and push opposite of one another, they become balanced, in effect eliminating each other. The force-balanced FlexTend eliminates all the design concerns of the standard FlexTend, while at the same time providing all of the same pipeline protection from the stress of movement. The issue of water volume change is also eliminated. The force-balanced FlexTend simplifies pipeline design by alleviating the design of restraint mechanisms necessary for the thrust of standard expansion joints, such as thrust blocks or other force-restricting devices. Instead, the engineer can simply employ the force-balanced FlexTend flexible expansion joint to do its primary job: protect the pipeline from deflection and movement stresses. This is very helpful for above-ground piping. The reasons to use the force-balanced FlexTend flexible expansion joint are clear. They protect pipeline systems from movement and can do so with a smaller footprint and at a lower cost. The force-balanced FlexTend flexible expansion joint is available only from EBAA Iron.